If you just bought the new survival game Palworld, you may be thinking, I'm a brand new player. What the heck should I do to get started with this game? My name is Judge, and without spoiling anything or telling you exactly what to do, I'm here to give you a few quick tips as a first-time player to help guide you in the right direction. Let's get to it. Tip number 1, die. No joke, one of the first things I suggest doing in this game is finding a way to die. And here's why. At the very beginning of the game, you will find a large glowing orange statue just a little way in front of you. This is a fast travel point. After activating it, the best thing you can do is die right after, as you will then have to respawn. You get to choose one of many respawn points, all of which will bring you to a different fast travel statue. You can then activate as many of these as you want and immediately have a large network of fast travel points before you even do anything in the game. You can do this at any point, like when you die naturally, but at the beginning is the only time where you will have no items to drop upon your death, making it no risk, all reward. Tip number 2, take your time choosing where to build your base. After punching a few trees and stones or talking to the nearby survivor to get some materials, you'll quickly be able to start building a base and some tools. It may be tempting to just build your base right away, near where you spawned at the beginning of the game, especially if you didn't do tip 1. However, before you do this, there are a few things you should know. 1, you cannot move your base once it's built, and 2, your base will serve as a fast travel location. With that in mind, I suggest finding a nice flat, large spot somewhere that isn't close to any statue fast travel points. Remember, you have access to a lot of other areas after respawning, so you don't even have to build your base in the Plateau of Beginnings, although there are some completely fine spots there. Try reading the respawn points and deciding what area might be right for you. Tip number 3, upgrade weight and get collecting. Now that you've built your base somewhere you like, you're going to be able to start building tools and other structures, and for that you're going to need a lot of resources. The most likely way you're going to find the early game in Palworld too grindy and slow is if you unknowingly are collecting resources inefficiently. Use your primitive workbench, build an axe for chopping trees, and build a pickaxe for mining rocks as early as you can. These tools are much quicker at gaining resources, so no need to waste your time without them. Eventually, there will be other ways to get resources using your pals, but at the beginning, it's mostly on you. As you're collecting many resources, you'll notice you're reaching your weight limit. You can only carry so much. To keep things moving nicely through the tutorial, I recommend using your first 1 or 2 stat increases, which you get for leveling up and can be accessed in the inventory menu, on weight. This will let you carry more resources per trip and make your resource grind not really a grind at all. I found after that, switching to health and stamina to be the good way to go. Tip number 4, build storage chests. Storage chests are extremely handy for making sure you can keep items that would normally be too heavy to carry around. Anything in your storage also acts as part of your inventory in the base, so you can build tools and structures even if all the materials you need for it are in storage chests. Having a few of these and keeping chests right beside your structures that make resources will help you easily transfer heavy materials into your chests where they are ready to be used anytime. Tip number 5, do not fear hunger and cold. Sometimes having to regulate your hunger and temperature in survival games can be very stressful. It's not in this game. There's plenty of access to berries you can pick, cook them on your fire if you choose, and eat, not to mention meat you'll automatically obtain for being out taking on pals eventually. The cold of night is easy to stave off with fire, a torch, a roof structure, clothes, a hot-bodied pal, but honestly, the cold barely hurts you. You can survive a long time without any of the above in the cold of night. So don't stress, you've got plenty of time. These elements do not provide a lot of pressure in this game. Tip number 6, catch many and different kinds of pals. There are only advantages to catching a lot of pals, no reason not to. You get more experience, you get more help at the base, and later in the game, none of these pals need to go to waste. The second you catch your first pal, you can summon it and use it from your party to assist you in capturing other pals. In addition to experience, getting more pals is going to give you an easier time at your base. Each pal has its own traits, some positive, some negative, that can affect their work. The more pals you've got, the more likely you're going to be able to use pals with only positive traits. Also be sure to catch different types of pals, as each has its own unique tasks it may complete back at the base. Tip number 7, prioritize upgrading the base. Part of the tutorial is to upgrade your base to level 7. I suggest making this the biggest priority out of the tutorial tasks. You'll need to gain experience by catching a bunch of pals and doing other stuff to make this happen, but the next step to upgrade your base should nearly always be your course of action at the beginning of the game. Leveling up your base is going to give you access to new structures and new tools that will speed up the production of resources greatly, making the tutorial process go more smoothly. Don't forget, if you're struggling with anything, the in-game strategy guide and the tutorial itself are there to steer you in the right direction. Thanks for listening. I hope your start to Palworld goes a little more smoothly after hearing these tips. If you've got anything else you'd love to add that you think would help new players, please let us know in the comments. If you felt like this video had some valuable information, please do hit that thumbs up button, subscribe for more, and happy pal hunting.
My name is Judge.
Whose name is Judge?
My name is.
Whose name is Judge?
My name is
That's a silly name.
Judge.
Okay, that's enough.